Marcus Smart, officially a Los Angeles Laker. First, congratulations. But obviously, did you ever think you'd hear that throughout your career?
To be honest, no, I didn't. I thought about it 12 years ago when it was a possibility. And then, throughout my years, my 9 years in Boston, it was kind of hard to think. And then once I left, at that moment, I was like, you know what, there's a possibility. And then the possibility went to, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I'm excited, and this is great. And I'm glad to be here, and I'm ready to go.
I do want to first dive into, obviously, the Lakers weren't the only team to come after you during this time. What were you prioritizing that ultimately allowed you to land with the Lakers?
One main thing for me was, where can I make a big impact on a big stage? My first 9 years in the league, playoffs, and then these last 2 years, no playoffs. So, for me, it was getting back to that big stage, and being able to come back out and relive and show what I still can do and what people are missing out on.
What do you think the last 2 seasons in particular taught you about yourself?
I would have to say the last 2 seasons taught me about myself that patience is a virtue. I'm the type of guy, I want to play through everything. No matter what, no matter the pain, no matter the stress, I want to be on the court. And having to tell myself and have to understand that, hey, sometimes, you got to take it slow. Because rushing it just causes more for me to miss, and I hate to miss being on the court. So being patient enough to understand that my time's going to come, wherever, whenever that may be, but it's going to come.
So the 54 games over the last 2 seasons played, obviously you battled, as you've kind of mentioned, the variety of injuries. Where are you right now mentally and physically?
To be honest, I'm itching. I'm like the dog that you got the treat dangling in him, and you got him on the leash, and he's just like, just let me go, just let me go. Like I said, I'm a competitor, and I love playing basketball. And for me, being on this court is my eye of the storm, where I'm the most calmest, and I can kind of, calm myself down and kind of see everything in slow motion. So my mindset is very, very simple. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get back on the court, and I'm ready to work.
Speaking of competitors, you have a roster here in LA full of them. It's been said that Luca was a very big fan of you joining this roster. Can you provide any insight into maybe some conversations, but ultimately also, what did that mean to you?
Playing against Luca when he was in Dallas, just the mutual respect we always had as competitors. After every game, we always made sure to find each other and give that respect. But definitely, he just said, playing against me was one thing. He would definitely love to have me on his team, and thought I'd be a great fit. And when you got a player like Luca, calling, checking on you, seeing where you're at, that means a lot. And it shows, the dedication that he has to you, that the work ethic that you put in, that is shown to him that he's willing to even take that risk on you.
How do you envision your fit here on this roster as you see it right now?
Very well. Very well. I feel like what I bring, this team could use, and I think any team could use, but this team in particular, because of the competitor that I am and the competitive nature that this team is, I think I'm going to fit very well.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. Obviously, you spent a lot of time, as you mentioned, in the Eastern Conference, going up against a guy named LeBron James. To think about being now on the same team in a Los Angeles Lakers uniform alongside him, how do you quantify it?
Oof. It's not every day you get to play against, let alone with, one of the greatest players that ever played this game. We all know his IQ of this game is ridiculous, and playing against him, you see it, and you see it tenfold. So to be able to be on the other side to witness it and benefit from it, instead of him, taking me out with it on the defensive end, just to be able to soak it all in like a sponge is an opportunity that I'm definitely blessed to be able to have.
One final one for you. For an individual who experienced such great success in a Boston Celtics uniform for almost a decade, come opening night to be wearing a Los Angeles Lakers uniform, can you anticipate what those emotions will feel like?
I can try to anticipate it. I have no idea, but I could definitely tell and say that I'm expecting a lot of boos. I'm expecting a lot of hate. And it's okay. I understand it.
Wow, well said. I love it. Congratulations again. Welcome to LA.
Thank you so much.
What does it feel like to be in this building, particularly with your career starting in Boston and what you meant to that organization? Sure, did that add to how surreal today was?
It definitely did. But it's an honor. I was telling my wife, to be able to play for one of the most historical franchises, let alone to play for two, and to be here in purple and gold is a dream. I wish my mom was there to be able to see this, but it's exciting. It's definitely something that, being in the East with Boston, I probably never would have thought of. But once I left, it became a possibility, and I wanted to make sure it happened.
The Lakers, I'm sure other teams were after you as well, but why here?
There's a lot of reasons, but the main one, being able to play with Luca and LeBron, two of the best to do it in this game. Two greats with greatest basketball IQ that I've ever seen in this era. And when you get a guy like Luca calling, referencing, checking on you, trying to see where you at to see, and that if you want to come and join something special that he's trying to cook up over here, and for him to say that to see that he can really use my help, that meant a lot. Played against Luca a lot. Been on a lot of opposing ends of Luca magic, and to be able to come out and be on his side at this time means a lot.
Have a relationship prior to this process, and if not, kind of how did that get going? Like, do you remember the first day he hit you up about this possibility?
I wouldn't say it was a relationship, but we definitely had a mutual understanding and respect for each other. After every game, playing, it was always flowers. Way to go, keep going, keep those guys going, and vice versa. It first came, my agent, I'm working out, and I get a call from my agent saying, hey, Luca's reached out. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, all right. And then another day, same thing, Luca reached out again. And now it's real, it's no longer what ifs. It's real, and it's something we need to talk about. And that was a great feeling, like I said, and that's kind of what got the things going for me to be here, and I'm excited to be here.
Once you were able to
Luca
make
reached
that
out
connection
multiple
with Luca on the
times.
phone, like what's Luca the recruiter like? We know what the basketball players like. What's the recruiter like in him?
It's the same. He's a competitor, and he just the same way. He has that competitive nature when he's talking, when he's intrigued, and that's it. He didn't really have to say much. Luca, his name, his ability, what he has done, spoken for itself. And for me, like I said, I've been on the other end of Luca magic. So to be able to come and join and see it, and witness it on the other side is something that I was like, why not give it a shot?
Where are you in terms of motivation at this stage of your career, considering the way the last couple stops went after Boston, and also just physically compared to the guy who won Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, I'm very motivated. The last 2 years for me was, in my eyes, a disappointment. Injuries kind of stopped me and held me back, but like I told my wife and my family, everything happens for a reason. And it's funny that 12 years ago, I could have been here, and now it's full circle and I'm here. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. And I just look at those reasons was for me to be here, to not play, and for people to look at me and say, maybe he isn't the same. And now that allows me to be in a place where I'm supposed to be.
What will your role be here?
Just to be me, come in and do what I do, and that's, a tenacious defender. Just bringing the intensity that I bring, my leadership, my basketball IQ as well, but just being the pest that I've always been.
I mean, no disrespect to Memphis, because when you were traded there, like the goal was very much so to win, and you guys were winning before the injuries and stuff like that. But what is the opportunity to play on this stage, high stakes basketball? How does that kind of figure into all of this?
Oh, it's at the top. I mean, the main goal, the reason you go out and you compete the way you compete is to try to win championships. And what better place to be able to do that than here, where the show starts and where the show ends. So that was definitely a big part of it, being able to get back on that stage, being able to get to a team that definitely could use me, and I know I can make an impact and help as well, and that was a perfect fit here.
We've talked a lot about Luca, but I'm curious too, like, I mean, you've been on the other end of trying to stop LeBron from scoring. You've chased JJ Redick around, I'm sure, a bunch too. What is it like to kind of work with those two guys in different roles, obviously, and what have the conversations been like with either of them?
It's been great, I have been on the other end of those, and I was able to learn and take away from both. Two different players, rightfully so in their own way, great at what they do. JJ is one of the best shooters that we had, especially off the move in this league, and LeBron is who LeBron is, and we all know what he's capable of and what he's done in his career. And, to be able to be on the other side to learn from him, not playing against him, but, as a teammate, and just talking to JJ and, reliving those moments and just really getting me back to understanding that, I still have a lot left in the tank, and he's going to allow me to show it.
What did you learn
That's what you want to hear. Still has a lot left in the tank.
about, even from afar, about JJ as a coach? Obviously, you didn't mention that you played against him, but as a coach on the opposing end, what did you learn about him that you didn't know beforehand?
That he's the same as he played. No, I don't think JJ gets a lot of credit for his IQ and ability of reading the game, not only as a player but as a coach. And I think being a player and played the way that he played in those many years helps him now as a coach.
This team won 50 games last year. They were the 3 seed in the West. We look at the West like, I don't know, 12, 13 teams that think they have a shot to be a playoff team. How do you think they kind of, or you guys now stack in the standings going into the year? And look, what's your realistic shot of making a deep run?
I think we stack right up there with the best of them. And I think our ceiling is high. I think there's no ceiling. I think if we all lock in and come and do what we're supposed to do, we can have a real good shot at it.
You were such a cultural piece in Boston. I know you said the job is to come here and be yourself. Is it a little different, though, when you go into a room that has more established leaders, people that have been in the building and stuff like that? And I guess, how do you sort of envision navigating kind of being you, but maybe you're not the heartbeat of the team the same way, at least on day one?
Yes, no. Listen, I'm raised in the way I was raised, and the support staff I have around me. We all know nothing is given. You have to go earn it, and that's who I am, and that's what I pride myself off of. I understand that I'm coming into a new home where there's already tenants here who've been here doing it for a while, and my job is to not come over and take over, but to come in and increase what they're already doing and help us be the best that we can be.
Do you know what number you're going to wear?
36, of course.
Since you did play for the Celtics, Laker fans feel about the Celtics. Have you encountered anything since you've been here? From
Not
Laker
yet,
fans saying something to
not
you?
yet, but I'm expecting it, and I wouldn't expect nothing less.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Big man.